Yes. See, now we are talking about a tool, a ticketing tool, which is used to track your, manage your support projects in real time. So HPSM is called HP Service Manager. It is separate tool actually to track only your support tickets against the support management. Like how you have ALM in testing, we have Service Manager for managing your services. So HPSM and HPSM is in terms, again, sometimes it is called as SMT, Service Management Tool Suite. So both are same actually. Name changes. Okay, when you have an application, you can name it as you like. So here, let's say my client is calling it as Service Manager. If you go to another project, they will call it as SMT or something. Okay. Now there is another service provider called ServiceNow. So everybody would have heard about it. ServiceNow is most popular tool nowadays. So options would be same, but ServiceNow is more flexible. Okay. Now coming to this, so see here, overview. You will have three parts of anything: incident management, problem management, request management. Request management is nothing but change request management. As I said in yesterday's class, there will be three kinds of tickets: incidents, problems, and change requests, right? So all these three are covered as different modules here. Okay. Then CHP has some core concepts. This is kind of a training document for using HPSM. Okay. So this is not required at all. We will see how we can create ticket. So you can go through it once, all this data. What is an incident? See, an incident is any event that is not part of the standard operation of a service and that causes or may cause an interruption to or a reduction in the quality of the service. Something interruption is called incident. Incident, you know, right? I mean, even in our general language, we call some incident happened. So that is what incident for software service also. Okay, something abnormal behavior the product service. Okay, so you can go through all these details. You have see every incident is associated with an SLA. So even incidents will have separate severity. See, Sev 1, Sev 2, Sev 3. So this is SLA. Sev 1 incident SLA 2 hours, Sev 2 6 hours, Sev 3 3 business days. Like this. Then see, this is the incident life cycle. It goes to open, then open status, accepted status, work in progress status, pending customer. That means you are waiting for information from customer, I mean user. Pending vendor. I said other module guys are working on this, right? That is pending vendor. Pending change. So you created a change for this incident, and once the change is completed by web team, then uh, you change the status to completed. Then pending other, any other task. If any other task is pending, then you keep the status as pending other. Then resolved. So once the incidents are resolved after 3 months or 180 days or 60 days, based on your client's business requirement, it will set to closed status. Okay. So this is called incident life cycle. And here, if you see a arrow mark here, open, then you have directly rejected incident here. Means you can reject an incident if it is not relevant for a ticket. Let's say user mistake. It cannot be an incident. You reject it. Okay. So that is how incident life cycle is, I mean, displayed here. And life cycle is nothing but all the stages it passes through in its life cycle. Okay. Now, how to create? See, you have this here. Maybe I can zoom it for. See, this is how it looks. Incident ID, status, title, description, what severity it got, when it is going to end the SLA, and other stuff, routing criteria, which team it has to go, hmm, how many users it is impacting, where it is impacting, where the ticket is raised. Okay, service area, the grouping criteria. See here, applications, service, IETS service, category, incident, area. So all this routing criteria is provided here in incident itself. Okay. See, these are the different statuses of an incident. I'm just walking through these pages. That's it. You have to explore more on this. Okay. Then for every ticket, like either it may be problem or incident, you will have same features. I mean, same options to create it. Only thing is the name will differ here. Instead of incident, it will be problem or it can be change request. Okay. So just go through this. Okay. So you will have all the support management terminology here. It takes time to explain, but it is well narrated here. Everything is entered here. Okay. See, solved. When you close a ticket, when you solve a ticket, there will be two ways. Did you solve it or did you provide a workaround? Workaround means an alternative solution. Okay. It is not a fix actually. You have something alternative solution for this, I mean, problem. So immediately, if there is a workaround for a ticket, you provide workaround immediately, then later you can slowly solve it. Okay, that is what difference between workaround and solution. Okay. So ETR, estimated time to repair. You write estimated time to arrival. Hmm? So that is ETR means estimated time to resolve or repair. Okay. Yes. So how to create tickets? This is well explained. So when you open a new incident, so system will assign a number here, incident number. Then it automatically assigns status open. Okay. It could be new or open. Okay. Then see assignment group. Assignment group is important because to whom you are, I mean, to which group it has to be assigned. Let's say you're getting issues in SAP system, you will see assignment group like this. So here you assign a team name who can resolve it. Okay. Then there are other routing criteria. Location and category. Here you maintain from which location the ticket is raised. So here assignee means the one who is working on ticket. If you know, let's say you're creating a ticket, if you know who can resolve it, instead of assigning a group alone, you can assign name also, consultant's name also. Okay. So then you can attach also. See, you can provide error attachments also here. take screenshots of error and attach here, so that it will give more information to uh, the consultant. So incident relationships to other items. Let's say you have an incident created now, and there are other incidents for the same error created by other users. Whatever is created first, that is called parent incident, and you can assign the next incidents, the similar incidents to this parent incident. So linking means that is what linking. Linking all incidents which are created for same error. So when you link it, all the errors, I mean, once you resolve it, if there is link enabled among these incidents, once you resolve a parent incident, system will resolve all other child incidents also. Okay, request management, it is same, it will be similar. You just go through this documentation whenever you get time, you will come to know. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, thanks. I don't want to spend more time on this, and it takes a lot of time. Okay, just closing it. We will see another topic called ABAP query now. So ABAP query, it is a reporting tool. As I said, if I want to see list of sales orders, let's say open orders, I'll go to transaction called VA05. You see here, this is how it looks. So you can get list of sales orders per sold to party and material combination. In this report, you can give date range for selection from documents created from 1st March to 31st March. You can get a report. So let's say all orders, open sales orders, or my orders. So all orders means all orders means all orders, completed orders and pending orders. Open sales orders means orders which are open, only open status. That means not yet processed. My orders means orders created by me. That means with my user ID. So let's try getting it. So you need to give sales organization details. Let's say or IL1. What's up? Okay. IL1 is not available in this system. Let's say I'll give 1000. So you might not be having list of sales orders for 1000 sales orders because the selection date is 1st March to 31st March. There are no documents. So I'll take 2006 because 1000 sales org will have 2000 I mean documents in the year 2006. Okay, I think I need to select customer here. I'll go to further selection. So for an example, I'm using the other tool, that is SE16N. I'm going to table level and taking out customer number VBAK. So when it is created 01 01 2026 to 31st 03 2006. Okay, I'm taking list of sales orders created from January 1st, 2006 to 31st March 2006. Okay. I'll give you sales of 1000. So this is another way of extracting data using SE16N. So most of the times we'll be using these tables. Okay. So but business uses VA05 because we don't give access to SE16N for business. So they use this VA05 transaction code. Let's say I'll copy a sold to party number here. Yeah, I'll take this sold to party because I see P orders 10004. So I'll enter 10004. Now see, please check the entries. No work is selected. That's okay. I'll take it from January 1st, 2006. It has to give some details. It will. Since it is generating the report. See, this is how it displays. But you will have very minimum fields here. See here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fields only. What if I need a report with 15 fields or 20 fields based on my business requirement? It cannot give. So for that reason, I'll be using the second option is table. Okay, database table. But this database table, the limitation, the problem with this database table is you can view a section of data, not all the order information. Let's take this order. You can see only header data in VBAP. You can see item data in VBAP. So all header details are available in VBAK table. If I want to get item information, then I need to pass this order into VBAP table separately, then pull out the information. That is little inconvenient, right? So that is why we have an option to join these tables. That is called your ABAP query. So let's take as an example. You need a report, okay, with below fields. You need report with you need report with order number, sales order number, customer number, okay, sales org, distribution channel, region, material number, quantity, okay, price. I can say item price. I'm specifically saying item price. Then what you can see, shipping point or plant. You need to know from which plant it is delivering. Then, so what else you need? Delivery date. Okay. I need a sales report with these fields from, let's say, date, date range. Date as that 0101 2026, sorry, 2006 to, that means January 1st 2026 to 31st March 2006. Okay, so these are the selection criteria for me. Now I need a sales report with above fields for this period. I mean 3 months period, first quarter of 2006. Let's see how I can get this in SAP system. So you first, before going there, you identify where these fields are stored. That is why I was saying table names, I mean by heart table names. Okay, your order number is header data. You can get it in header table VBA. Customer number VBA. Okay, sales org VBA. Distribution channel VBA. Division header data, right? VBA. Then material where you get item data VBAP. Okay, quantity VBAP. Item price VBAP. That is also item data. So by seeing the field name, you should be able to say which part of or which table it belongs to. This is a plant is also VBAP. But delivery date will be VBEP, that is schedule in data. Okay. Then selection date. Let's say, how do you manage the selection date? It is created on date. Created on when the order is created. This is also belong to VBAK table header data. So like this, I'll identify the table name for each field, source table name. Now I go to SAP and see, observe here, very simple. I go to a transaction called SQVI /SQVI. So since it is first time I'm opening, it takes little time. Let's wait for it. Let it take. Yeah. So this is how it looks. Initial screen of SQVI. So now what you do here, you give a name. Let's say sales report. Okay, you can give any name here. You can give VBAK, VBAP, VBEP, or this is a sales report, right? So I'm giving it as sales report 01. Now, this report is not exist now, right? It is not available in the system. Now we have to create it. So I'll go to create here. Okay. So once you click on create, you get a pop-up like this. You just give a name of this report. It is sales report for sales or user. You can say like this. Okay. Then here, come to this data source. Instead of table, you say table join. That means you're going to join multiple tables now. So select this table join. then click on continue. So now, based on the field list you have been given by the customer, I mean user, you know how many tables need to be combined, right? The report, you need to pull this data in the report from 3 tables. We have already identified it, correct? Yes. Now, once once you reach into this screen, now you have to add tables here. How you add it? So here, you check here, insert table. This option is called insert table. Click on this first table. You should go in a hierarchy. So first table is header, right? VBAK. I'll enter VBAK here. Then what is next table? VBAK, item data table. And what is another table? VBEP, schedule item. So this is how system enables link among these tables. So key field means you will have a key field for each table. If you take this VBAK, sales document, VBELN is key field. That means your all data is stored under this field name, right? So since it is the next table is sales document item data, this item data table will also have sales order number field, right? Sales document number. So if you take a process, let's say sales order is an object, this sales order data will be stored in multiple tables, but order number will be available in all the tables. So the field which is available in all the tables is called key field. So let's say you have a sales order number 1234. You get all header details here. And in order to get item details, you have to use the same number 12345, right? Sales order, you need to use sales order number in item data also, and also in schedule line data. That is the reason system will enable a link automatically if a table contains key fields with similar field name. See, your header data is having VBELN field name, item data, yes, VBELN is available, schedule line data, VBELN is available. If you take any other sales order table, you will have VBELN in common. So system will link key fields to join the tables. Okay. If there is any illegal joining, you need to verify it. Sometimes when you go to pricing or other tables, when system cannot find the same field in 2 tables, then it goes with the alternative links. That time you have to be careful and you need to correct that illegal joining. Okay. Now see, I have joined all these 3 tables. In fact, this is very simple join. So I'm just going with sales order extraction report, right? So my key field is sales order for all the tables. Now after joining, come back. Okay. When you click on come back button, this button, you will see a screen where you have to choose selection and list options. Just expand this. Okay. So header data, I'll go to header data. First, what I need, sales document number. So you will have two things here, list fields and selection fields. List field means the output. You will get the list. Yes, I need sales document number in list output Excel sheet. Then selection. Do I need to give it in selection screen? Means I'll show you what is selection. You can enter inputs here. If you want, you can tick selection for sales document number. The next field is, what is next field after sales document? You will have, you can find also. You go to sales org. Okay, VK org. I go technical name. Yes, I need to identify documents based on sales org. I need it in list and also in selection. Okay, so quickly search for fields here. Customer number, distribution channel, division, created on date or header fields now. So let's go to customer number. Find customer number, sold to party, customer, right? Okay, let's check here. So that is why let's go with search option and you use technical name here, KUNNR. See, sold to party. You need it in list only. I don't want this in selection screen. Then created on date. Created on date is identified with ERDAT. This is the one. So I need it in list field. In fact, I need it in selection field. This is the only selection criteria business has given me to select documents. That is the reason I keep it in both the list and selection fields. Okay. Then find your, you have sales org already found. Now distribution channel. So V E G something, wait a minute. Okay, where you have sales org, there you can see distribution channel also. VTWEC. I need it only in list fields. I don't want it in selection, and also division. Okay, so these are the header fields I need to extract for my report. Then once you choose what are the list fields and selection fields in header data table, one table, you minimize this and go to the next table, that is item. In this item table, you need material number in list, that is, item. Okay, item number. Then quantity. So when you select quantity, it will be in order quantity in sales unit. Okay, it says here target quantity, but I don't need target quantity because it is sales order. Okay, find with order. So it says order reason, it is not available now. So I'll go to keep searching. It is still in VBAK table. Now I entered into VBAP. Reason for rejection, item number, no, method of billing, net value of the order. Okay, yeah. See here, cumulative order quantity in sales units. This is the field I was looking for. I just need it in list field, and before that, then I need net value also, right? See, net value of the order item in document currency. So I just select this NETWR. So then what else you need from VBAP table? So I have taken material number, quantity, and net price, and plant. So I need to choose plant. So plant field is, okay, go to find. We can select using niche itself. Say plant. It says own or external VB WERKS works. That is what your plant. So you can choose plant in list fields. Okay. So these are the fields required for me for my reporting. VBAP table. Then I'll go to VBEP table where I get my delivery date. See, delivery schedule line number, it says schedule line date. This is what your delivery date. Okay. I'll take schedule line number also because one order may have multiple schedules, right? Schedule lines. So if you have more than one, it will be identified with 1, 2, 3 like that. So I'll get number also. Okay, schedule line number and schedule line date. So these are the available options, selection and list fields for me. Now, for now, I'll just save it. If you don't save it, system will not save the selection or the table join. Whenever you want the report again, you have to go for a new report again. So thinking that this requirement may come after 3 months or 4 months again and again, I save this query. So now this whatever selection, table joins, whatever I have done now, it is saved now in database. So whenever you want, let's say after 6 months, the same user requesting report for another period, so next quarter, then again, you don't have to create it from scratch. You come to SQVI, instead of creating it, you will see this report name. I'll show you that. Okay. Now, once you save it, you need to run the report. You just go to execute. Okay. Once you execute, you get an option like table selection option. You see C16N. Similarly, you get this option here. Let's wait for some time. It's taking time. Let it take. Yeah. See here, you have the selection screen here. So as per my report requirement, I need report from, that's okay, 1000 sales org, I'll give 1000 sales org here. And I need report from which date? 1st January 2006 to 31st March 2006. Okay. This is 3 months report for my business, sales report for 1000 sales org. I just given sales document number because an extra option for selection. Now, if I execute here, system will display the list of sales orders created between these two dates for this sales organization. Okay. See, I think we have all the fields requested by business. Sales or sales document, sales org, sold to party, created on distribution channel, division, material, quantity, sales unit.